Hello and welcome to the national debate. I'm Madhavdas G. Viewers, the winter session of Parliament witnessed a fierce showdown between I.N.D.I.A and the India bloc over a multitude of issues, including the constitution, the legacy of its chief architect B.R. Ambedkar. Parliamentarians from both sides pulled no punches, quite literally in fact, as unprecedented scenes were witnessed on the Parliament premises earlier this week. Two BJP MPs were left injured after a series of protests from both sides. The BJP accused the Congress and its leader Rahul Gandhi of violent behavior, while the Congress accused the BJP leaders of manhandling Congress MPs. A female Nagaland MP also accused Rahul Gandhi of coming in close proximity and shouting aggressively at her. But the Congress party has denied all charges. Now, all of this comes in the back of the larger debate of who really is saving the Constitution and who upheld the legacy of B.R. Ambedkar and who disregarded and insulted the father of the Constitution. Here's what happened earlier this week, and then we put this for debate.
आपको सर्व नहीं आती है क्या राहुल क्या सर्व नहीं आती है क्या सर्व नहीं आती है गुंडागर्दी करते हो बूढ़े को गिरा दिया जाता है इतना गुंडागर्दी करते हो
एक एमपी को धक्का लगा मेरे ऊपर गिर पड़ा और राहुल गांधी ने आकर के एक एमपी को धक्का लगाया वो मेरे ऊपर गिर पड़ा और
प्रणाम सर मुकेश राज सर ठीक है अभी थकने छकने से आ रहा है घबराहट सी हो रही है।
बीजेपी के एमपी जो थे वो मुझे ऐसे रोकने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, धकेल रहे थे और मुझे धमका रहे थे।
अब सिर्फ अमित शाह जी की खाल बचाने के लिए ये अब इन्होंने साजिश शुरू की है कि भैया ने किसी को धक्का मारा ये वो।
ये संसद कोई कुश्ती का अखाड़ा नहीं है। मेरे को खुद वो लोग धक्का दिए, मैं अपना बैलेंस नहीं संभाल सका, मैं नीचे बैठ गया।
उन्होंने ऐसा व्यवहार किया, कोई कल्पना कर सकता है? धक्का मुक्की, गुंडागर्दी।
Let's take this across to our guest now. Joining us with us is Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of BJP. Karan Verma, author, is with us here in the studio. We also have Akhilesh Katia, national spokesperson of Samajwadi Party. Dr. Nishant Anand is the national spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party. We have Renu Mittal, a senior journalist, joining us here in the studio, as well as Ashutosh Mishra. Let's quickly take a look at what are the charges that are, being looked at as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned and what really transpired in Parliament. In fact, one of the sections imposed is 115 of BNS. The charge is of voluntarily causing hurt. The next section that we're looking at is 117 of the Bhartiya Janata Party, and this is the charge of voluntarily causing grievous hurt as well. Move on to the next one. It's 125 of the BNS, endangering human life or the personal safety of others. Moving on to the next section is 131, punishment for assault or criminal force that we're looking at. And in fact, this is in fact the charge that Rahul Gandhi faces apart from 351 of the BNS, which is criminal intimidation. Now let's go on to the next set of graphics that we're looking at in terms of what Rahul's defense is as to what transpired in Parliament. He was physically manhandled is the allegation of what Congress MPs have written in this letter to Om Birla that was put out yesterday. And the second claim that, if we can quickly bring that up on screen as well, LOP Rahul Gandhi was manhandled by 3 BJP MPs is the charge. And this is what Rahul Gandhi also says in one of those videos that you saw earlier. Blatant assault on the personal dignity of Rahul Gandhi is also what is being claimed by the Congress members of Parliament. Let's quickly take this across. In fact, Pradeep Bhandari, earlier when your party leaders had complained, in fact, they had complained to the police, there was also, of course, an attempt to murder charge which the police has not accepted. And they are saying that it's not Rahul who was the aggressor, but other members of party of the BJP who've actually assaulted him is their claim. How do you respond?
Well, Madhav, the essence of the entire argument is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi went to Pratap Sarangi, a 70-year-old OBC man who comes from Odisha. Now, the basic human instinct is when you see a man bleeding who is elderly, you will at least ask, Ki kya hua? Let me take you to the hospital. But Rahul Gandhi, a man with vengeance, man with anger, moves away, does not even considers 1% of humanity to look at it. Now, if that was not enough, Rahul Gandhi, as per our member of parliament from Nagaland, physically tries to intimidate her. So the reality is that Mr. Gandhi thought that the parliament is his personal jagir, only he can protest. We've seen visuals where there was enough space for Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Vadra and others to protest. Rahul Gandhi came towards our side on Makardar to protest. The entire point is Mr. Gandhi cannot digest the fact that an OBC man, a 70-year OBC man, he has to apologize. He feels he will look down and it is something secondary to do that. We are not doing any charge. We were honest, we've done the complaint, and right now my basic thing is that if Mr. Gandhi believes that he's honest, if Mr. Gandhi believes that he did not push, in fact in the video bite he said that he's pushed it, what is the basic human instinct? You'll say, theek hai, galti ho gayi, let me take you to hospital. Why has he not done it? Because he is full of anger, and I charge that he's not fit to be an LOP. LOP does not behave like a goon.
Sorry, Ashutosh Mishra. Let me bring in Ashutosh Mishra on that. Ashutosh Mishra, that if there was a mistake, suppose in the ruckus Rahul Gandhi had accidentally pushed someone, let's assume as he says, that if that had happened, why didn't he A, apologize, and that B, was it below his dignity to actually apologize to somebody who's a elderly citizen and an OBC MP is the question that he's asking.
So this question itself is an act to divert of what was actually happening there. What was happening was that BJP's ideology is to use physical violence. They believe that power flows from physical attacks on your opponents, whether it be bulldozers on people whom Modi recognizes by attire, or an effort to try to bulldoze opposition because it speaks against the friend of Modi inside and outside parliaments. That's the truth. The whole idea is to divert attention. And their hatred for Rahul Gandhi is well known. Last time they tried to get him evicted from Lok Sabha through the courts, which they failed. And now asking question whether he is fit to be LOP. He has been elected here by the people of India. His popularity during the Bharat Jodo Yatra has scared BJP. And the very fact, even if you look at the Maharashtra election, what happened there? In Nanded, Congress MP has won. So people, if you are from Mahayuti, you will say it's the supporters of BJP. If you are from Aghadi, you will say the EVM manipulators. They don't want Modi at center. Modi today at center is afraid that Rahul Gandhi poses a challenge to him.
But he's still winning elections, sir. He has won about, I mean, the BJP has still won a few elections. But anyway, be that as it may, my question to you, in fact, let me bring in Renu Mittal now. Renu Mittal, is the entire issue about the fact that someone else got there first? Because that seems to be the issue. BJP says we protested there early in the morning, we were there. Congress then comes and Mr. Rahul Gandhi wants to protest at the very same spot. And that's what led to this, huge clash between MPs or, led to fisticuffs or whatever one chooses to call this.
I think that most of us are really jumping the gun. Why don't we wait till the CCTV cameras tell us exactly what happened? Why don't we wait for an inquiry to be conducted so that we know exactly who is at fault and who isn't? And anybody who is at fault should be put on the mat and action should be taken against them, this side, that side, whatever. So it's just hearsay. We have these BJP spokesmen and all the channels like they were there. And they have got an authentic first-hand account. So-and-so MP said, so-and-so MP said, and the MPs belong to the BJP or they belong to the Congress. I mean, who do we believe? The fact is that there is an attempt to target Rahul Gandhi. It has been happening since he took up the issue of an industrialist, and there has been no debate on the issue of what are the close relations he has with Mr. Modi, etc., etc. Everybody knows about that. We don't have to go into it. But what we do need to do is that there is a systematic, attempt to murder. Is it laughable or is it not laughable? I mean, the kind of things that they're coming out with, and I think that there is a very serious attempt to target Rahul Gandhi, maybe to once again disqualify him from the Lok Sabha. That's what will bring peace, because he is always standing up and shouting and asking questions about Mr. Adani and Mr. Modi. Whether it's right or wrong, we are not going into that. Okay. What we are going into is the fact that this government is targeting him, and that the fracas that took place yesterday. And you see, what has happened is that, there is a lot of bitterness now between the Congress and the BJP. And I don't think, and this will continue in this current Lok Sabha. we'll find more and more of this coming up, because there will be violence, there will be people standing up and targeting each other. And I think that now it's gone beyond the point where relations can really be repaired.
Okay.
Because there is
but
a
the
lot
big question is, was it ever, in that friendly zone or not?
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
Because you see, some of us who are there will say one thing, somebody who is not there, who is a spokesman for a party and who is going on hearsay will say something else. Let's wait. What about the 58,000 rupees that was found on Abhishek Singhvi's chair? There's been no inquiry in that. You see, we don't get these inquiries. These are things, only TV channels are being used to propagate a particular viewpoint.
Okay, let me bring in
So
Pradeep
this is
Bhandari
not
on that
fair,
note.
I think, on anybody.
Pradeep Bhandari, why not wait for the inquiry? Why are we jumping the gun? Because here is Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is fighting on various causes, says Renu Mittal, and there is a deliberate attempt at targeting him. Please respond to her.
Well, first of all, I'm asking a simple question. The inquiry has been there. The chair has already said that the inquiry on the cash thing will be going on. So it's not that the inquiry is not ordered. Point number two, the basic human instinct I'm asking, if you have a 70-year-old elderly man from the opposition, who you are seeing is blooded, who you are seeing is bleeding, will you not, as a human being and as a credible LOP, this country has seen Sushma Swaraj ji as LOP, this country has seen Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji as LOP. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is starting to act as with complete vengeance, like a complete gunda. Please tell me that if in this studio, if you see an individual who's bleeding and elderly, is it not a basic human instinct from other people in the panel to go and take him to the hospital? Why did he not do it? Because it was pre-planned. He had to send a message that how dare you oppose me? It is my territory, and I'll tell you the issue. Because today Rahul Gandhi is completely exposed. Nehru Gandhi family is exposed on Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar's issue, because it is the Nehru Gandhi family who historically hated Baba Sahib Ambedkar.
I'm going to come to Ambedkar, but let me bring in Akhilesh ji on that.
Why did he not take him to the hospital? Why did he not ask him?
Yeah, okay, Akhilesh Khatyar.
They have to take him to the hospital. What are the BJP guys doing?
Akhilesh Khatyar.
जी
Let's talk.
जब आप ये कह रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी उनको अस्पताल क्यों नहीं लेके गए, बेसिक एक ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी है, डिसेंसी है, कोई अगर वृद्ध आदमी है जो
अकेला ही नहीं बोला, ओबीसी मैन लेके क्यों नहीं गए, सॉरी क्यों नहीं बोला, ये उस परिवार से माधव जी संबंध रखते हैं जिनका ये भरोसा है कि एक झूठ को 1000 बार बोलो तो सच लगने लगता है। एक बात। दूसरी बात ये है, ओबीसी मैन, मुकेश राजपूत ओबीसी, वो ट्राइबल सांसद सब बता रहे हैं साथ में, जाति भी धर्म भी सब जुड़ जाए। एक्चुअल क्या मामला है, बहस आज इसकी नहीं है, उस पर तो पूरे देश ने देखा क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ, और हम आपसे ज्यादा जनता जानती है कि संसद में क्या हुआ। बहस उसके पीछे की है, जो अमित शाह जी ने कहा, अरे अंबेडकर का नाम लेना तो एक फैशन हो गया है, अंबेडकर अंबेडकर अंबेडकर, इतनी बार अगर भगवान का नाम लेते तो स्वर्ग चले जाते हैं। माधव जी, इस देश की जनता, आप भगवान, इस देश का जो 80% 90% दलित पिछड़ा है, उसका भगवान कौन है? उसका भगवान तो संविधान है। और इस संविधान को बदलने की मानसिकता रखने वाले लोगों के बीच में अगर कोई है तो डॉक्टर अंबेडकर हैं, क्योंकि हिंदुत्व की विचारधारा के खिलाफ थे। जय भीम बोलेंगे, लेकिन डॉक्टर अंबेडकर विचारों को ये कोट नहीं करें।
Okay, I'm going to come to Dr. Ambedkar's thoughts in just a minute. I just want to quickly go through the charges that we've seen, in fact, flying thick and fast. And this is what the member of parliament from Nagaland has alleged. This is Phangnon Konyak, and she has spoken in the house. She has said that Rahul has misbehaved with me in a loud voice. She says the physical proximity to me was so close that I felt extremely uncomfortable. This is the charge that has been made by her. She also goes on to say that the LOP and other MPs came in front of me suddenly, despite a passage that was created for them. My dignity and self-esteem has been deeply hurt. How would you respond to this? All right, let's listen to what, in fact, she said right after she spoke inside the house. Let's listen in.
Today, while protesting, it was a peaceful protest. I was standing outside just below the staircase of Makar Dwar. Something happened to me which I really feel disheartened. Leader of opposition of the Lok Sabha, Shri Rahul Gandhi ji, came in very close proximity of me, and I really feel uncomfortable, and he started shouting at me, which I felt is very unbecoming of a leader of opposition.
फिर से इन्होंने एक नया डिस्ट्रैक्शन शुरू किया है। हम अंबेडकर जी के स्टैचू से सारे एमपी शांति से पार्लियामेंट हाउस जा रहे थे। पार्लियामेंट हाउस के सीढ़ियों पे बीजेपी के एमपी लकड़ियां लिए हमारे सामने खड़े होते हैं, हमें अंदर नहीं जाने देते हैं, और उसके बाद अब ये थोड़ा सा अपना फिर से डिस्ट्रैक्शन करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Dr. Nishant Azad, this is a distraction, says Rahul Gandhi, but the Member of Parliament has a very different version as to what happened inside the House.
Good afternoon to everybody. So first of all, I'll start by saying it's another trick by BJP to safeguard the Honorable Amit Shah ji. The issue today is that Amit Shah ji giving a statement like this in a parliament. Now there are a lot of crores of people who worship Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He is the father of constitution. Because of him, we all have the right to vote. We all have the right to wear clothes and the shoes. Now Amit Shah ji clearly stated that अगर इतना नाम आपने भगवान का लिया होता तो स्वर्ग प्राप्त हो जाता. There are a lot of people who have been worshipping B.R. Ambedkar. Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal, we all follow the footpath of B.R. Ambedkar. We have Bhagat Singh and B.R. Ambedkar in all Delhi offices, unlike BJP where they have only Pradhan Mantri Modi.
I actually have that as a debating point. I'm not taking away from the seriousness of the point you're making. But just answer the question of this Member of Parliament. She's a woman Member of Parliament, and she is saying that there was too much of physical proximity. Can her charges, can it be completely brushed aside? Should it not be taken at face value? Because, you know, it is a sensitive matter, is it not?
As I said, it is another trick by BJP so that they don't have to answer the crime Amit Shah ji has done. I'll say one last thing.
Yeah.
Every time when all the opposition, everybody is asking कि इन्होंने अदानी की दलाली करते हैं, उसका जवाब ना देने की वजह they are creating this issue. Whenever there is an issue, they come up with a trick.
It's a trick or a diversion. Karan, I want you to respond to him. He says it's a trick, it's a diversion. What Amit Shah said in the House, what the allegations against Mr. Adani, it's all an attempt to divert. That's all it is. Your response.
Madhav, Amit Shah ji has unveiled a chapter which everybody needs to know and which was documented but never discussed as threadbare as it's being discussed. Savita Ambedkar ji's wife, in her book, Baba Sahab, My Life with Dr. Ambedkar, mentions clearly how Nehru and Dange inflicted so much humiliation to him, rigging his first election, that it eventually led to his demise in 1956. This has never been talked about, and it must be. Gail Omvecht in Dr. Ambedkar Towards an Enlightened India says Dr. Ambedkar was the first person whose election was rigged. He in fact filed a petition, and it was Jayaprakash Narayan who said he has been cheated by Nehru. Nehru in his letter to Edwina on 16th January 1952 admits that yes, today we have won big in Mumbai and Ambedkar has lost. He has been hobnobbing with Hindu communalists. Today, we are getting to know this version of history which we ought to know. And now let me reply to both our honorable members here. Our good friend Akhilesh ji, he was talking about कि किस तरह से अंबेडकर जी को भगवान मानते हैं. बहुत अच्छी बात है, बिल्कुल मानते हैं. पीडीए की राजनीति तो सर आपने बोली ना बार बार. आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये तो दलित बोल रहे हैं, ओबीसी बोल रहे हैं. आप तो खुले में बोलते हैं हम पीडीए की राजनीति करेंगे. और ये वो पार्टी है माधव जिसने 2012 में एससीज की जॉब में प्रमोशन हुए उस ऑर्डर को रिवर्स करके उनको डिमोट किया. आजम खान ने कहा था अंबेडकर जी की जो मूर्ति है जिसमें ये उंगली दिखा रही है ये तो भूमि ग्रहण का तरीका है. जिन्होंने ये बोला आज क्या आप उसके लिए प्रायश्चित करके माफी मांगते हैं? एक सेकंड में आम आदमी पार्टी के भी हमारे मित्र ने जो बात कही उनको भी जरा बता दूं. ही इज सेइंग दिस इज अ डिस्ट्रैक्शन टैक्टिक. Swati Maliwal, a woman, gets beaten up at the residence of the Delhi chief minister. They called that also a distraction. So they have trivialized crimes against women or physical intimidation against women. And for their commitment towards Dalit, let me tell you something. Vijayendra Gupta, on the floor of the Delhi Assembly, has written to Atishi, and I'm telling you, the grievous things they've done for against the SCs. The scheduled caste scholarship, Madhav, every year, close to 1,200 students get that scholarship. It's a joint program of center and state, 40% funding by the state. This year, we have had only 79 enrollments. Such has been their lackadaisical approach towards scholarships, both pre-metric and post-metric, towards the SC students. They have let the Dalit community down. They have not had a Dalit deputy CM, which they said they'll have in Punjab. So they have a lot of answering to do.
Okay. Both of you, one by one. पहले अखिलेश जी, फिर आपके पास.
मैं सिर्फ एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ. करण जी ने बड़े अच्छी बातें कही, बड़े ज्ञानी आदमी हैं, और कुछ चीजें जो इतिहास में गलत हुई हैं उसको सुधार लेते हैं. भंडारी साहब हैं, बड़े अच्छे प्रवक्ता हैं. डॉक्टर अंबेडकर के जीवन में जो सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धि वो कहते थे कि पृथक निर्वाचन का अधिकार मैं दलितों के लिए लाया हूं, इससे दलितों के जीवन में विकास का रास्ता खुलेगा. आप मानते भंडारी जी इन्हें दोबारा मिलना चाहिए? और वो चीज जो गलती हुई थी जिसे बाबा साहब ने कहा था उस पर साइन करते हुए पूना पैक्ट पे कि आप दलितों के इतिहास में आज का काला दिन है, क्या ठीक किया जा सकता है? उसको जवाब दीजिए भंडारी साहब. इस जवाब है.
Well, it is extremely good that we're speaking about Baba Saheb Ambedkar, and let me go it step by step. It was Jawaharlal Nehru who did not want Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar to be the chairman of the drafting committee. He wanted a Britisher named Ivor Jennings. Why did you do the alliance with the Congress party knowing this? Point number 2, Jawaharlal Nehru in 1960 1964, what did Mr. Nehru do? After Baba Sahib Ambedkar passed away, Mr. Nehru on record called Baba Sahib Ambedkar as a very controversial figure. Point number 3, Jawaharlal Nehru passed away in 1964. He gave himself Bharat Ratna in 1955. Indira Ji passed away in 1984. She got Bharat Ratna in 1991. Baba Sahib Ambedkar passed away in 1956, and for 40 years the Congress government did not give Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar Bharat Ratna. Why? Because they hated them. Let me show you another thing. Aam Aadmi Party was speaking about Constitution. This is their official tweet today. Look at how much they hate Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar. The Constitution is made by Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar. He's the chairman of the drafting committee, but they replaced Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar by Arvind Kejriwal. Point number 2, 10 seconds. Atishi goes ahead and says that she's against reservation. Her tweet in 2014 on Twitter says that she is against reservation, and those who have got, they should give away reservation. Answer, why are you against reservation?
पृथक निर्वाचन पे बाबा साहब ने जो कहा था, उनके जिंदगी में था पृथक निर्वाचन का अधिकार दलितों को मिलना चाहिए या नहीं मिलना चाहिए, उस पर राय दीजिए अपनी एक।
This is एक राय दीजिए भंडारी साहब। मैं दूंगा, मैं सुनिए, मैं दूंगा, मैं बोलूंगा। पहले आप माफी मांगिए कि आजम खान ने बाबा साहब भीमराव अम्बेडकर को भूमाफिया बनाया।
सुधार लेते ना, दलितों को अधिकार दे देते।
अखिलेश यादव जी माफी मांगेंगे आजम खान के लिए,
साफ हो जाएगी।
अखिलेश यादव जी माफी मांगेंगे,
हक मिल जाएगा। बाबा साहब का सपना,
अखिलेश यादव जी माफी मांगेंगे। बाबा साहब का सपना आज साकार हो रहा है जब दलितों को सबसे ज्यादा हक मिल रहा है।
You've asked questions of Dr. Nishant also. Dr. Nishant, quick response, and then I have to actually, this is a main talking point that we have in this entire debate, our legacy of Dr. Ambedkar. Quick response, Dr. Nishant.
See, first of all, I'll say BJP spokesperson should be ashamed of hiding such an incident done by Amit Shah ji. Aam Aadmi Party is the only party who has launched Jai Bhim Scholarship, wherein everybody, all the Dalits, all the minorities are getting world-class education and good education. They have a government in 20 states. Can they tell me one step they have taken for the minorities, for the Dalits? Today, every day, whenever there is an answer they have to give, they come up with a trick again. As we said earlier, अदानी की दलाली खाने वाले आज इनके पास जवाब नहीं है, तो ये ट्रिक्स खेल रहे हैं. Why are they not answering? There is an indictment letter issued by US. Why are they not able to come up with an answer? Today he's bringing a photo from a Twitter, but he's not giving an answer. Why is Honorable Amit Shah ji is giving a statement like this? We all
there'll be a lot of back and forth.
We all
there'll be a lot of back and forth.
B.R. Ambedkar.
There are many hands.
Once by replacing him,
okay, quick response, Karan. We're coming back to this. I just want to take the graphics.
मैं इनसे बस ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, भगवंत मान ने अभी सोलर पावर प्रोजेक्ट दिया अदानी को, आप कब कैंसिल कर रहे हो? आप आज बोल दो यहाँ से अदानी गद्दार है, उसका कैंसिल हो जाना चाहिए। बोल दीजिए, precise दीजिए।
They are not answering the question of the debate. Why Honorable Amit Shah ji is hurting crores of people?
आप अदानी पे नहीं बोलेंगे।
If Adani is so bad, why do business? One second, one by one.
मोदी अदानी भाई दोनों ने मिलकर खाई मलाई। इतने साल See, Amit Shah ji संसद में बयान देते हैं, स्टॉक्स खरीद लो, अगले दिन शॉर्ट सेलिंग होती है।
Let me come in. Let's take a quick look at what actually has happened, and I want to put this in context for our viewers. This is what happened in Parliament, and that's why this is such a heated issue. Just take a look at this.
जो मुद्दा यहाँ पर अमित शाह ने उठाकर डिस्कशन में वो लाए थे, उन्होंने ये कहा था कि अंबेडकर का इतना आप लोग उठ के बोलते हो, अगर यही उनका मजाक उड़ाया।
ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ है। ये इन्होंने कहा, ये पहले ही कह रहे थे कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को हम चेंज करेंगे, ये इसके खिलाफ है, अंबेडकर जी के खिलाफ है, उनकी विचारधारा के खिलाफ है।
उनके लिए जान देने के लिए भी लोग तैयार हैं।
मैं वो पार्टी से आता हूं जो पार्टी कभी अंबेडकर जी का अपमान नहीं कर सकती।
बाबा साहब को क्यों नेहरू जी के मंत्रिमंडल से बाहर होने पर विवश होना पड़ा? आरक्षण के संबंध में बाबा साहब की बात क्यों नहीं मानी कांग्रेस?
कांग्रेस के पाप को देश के सामने अमित शाह जी ने कल राज्यसभा में लाया।
So the big question is what exactly has happened in Parliament and who really has lived up to the legacy of B.R. Ambedkar. The Prime Minister has charged that the Congress has denied a Bharat Ratna to Dr. Ambedkar. Let's move on further to what else he said. A portrait was denied its place in the Parliament Central Hall earlier. He's also added that the Congress defeated Dr. Ambedkar in the polls twice. Pandit Nehru campaigned against Dr. Ambedkar is what the Prime Minister has said. Now, how's the India bloc countered this? They have said that the nation won't tolerate an insult to Ambedkar. They've also gone on to add that display of BJP's casteist and anti-Dalit mindset was seen in Parliament. This disrespect has crossed all limits of tolerance is what they are saying. And those who care for India will take Ambedkar's name is what India has countered this too. But what really is the legacy of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Who has really respected or disrespected him? Now, when it came to the Hindu Code Bill, it was allowed to lapse. This was spearheaded by Dr. Ambedkar, introduced in Parliament in 1947. The highest civilian honor of Bharat Ratna to B.R. Ambedkar in 1990, posthumously delayed by several decades, is a charge not by Congress, but a BJP-supported VP Singh government that actually gave this. The Congress has ensured his electoral defeat twice is another allegation which we heard the Prime Minister say. In 1951-52, in the first general elections, Dr. Ambedkar lost to Congress candidate by 15,000 votes. And in the 1954 by-poll, Dr. Ambedkar lost to Congress candidate by 8,500 votes. And in fact, this is as far as the entire legacy war is concerned. And these are the charges that are being made. I want Ashutosh to come in on this. Ashutosh, the big question that many are asking at this point of time is that was the Congress really fair in talking about or living up to the legacy of B.R. Ambedkar? The Prime Minister's statements, these facts that have been highlighted by the BJP are the case in point.
You know, this is the problem with people who have small mind. They forget that Ambedkar was a political opponent of Congress, and everyone knows he had differences even with Mahatma Gandhi. Despite that, Nehru tried to make Ambedkar a part of nation building. Instead of appreciating those efforts, they are now cooking up fact. If Ambedkar lost those elections, as they say, they should respect the electorate of that time, which thought that the Congress represented their those voters believed in. That has to be appreciated. Despite that, if Ambedkar was made the law minister, he resigned because of Hindu Code Bill, which was opposed by Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Why don't they tell that?
Okay.
They will never say that. He was, and there is a book which says that Savarkar and I.N.D.I.A were actually the two people who campaigned against Ambedkar.
Okay.
They didn't like it.
Okay.
Just one more thing.
It leads to a letter that Mr. Ambedkar wrote, which has come out in one of the latest books that has appeared, that it was I.N.D.I.A and Savarkar who opposed and campaigned against him and ensured his defeat.
Okay.
So you see the package.
Let's go point by point. You've made a number of points, but this is a very important point. I want Pradeep to counter this because it is the RSS that is ideologically opposed to Dr. Ambedkar. Don't bring us into the picture.
Point number one, Narayan Kajolkar, the man who defeated Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar in conspiracy with the Congress party, was awarded Padma Award by the Congress party. Why did you celebrate a man who defeated Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar? And you know what? He was his assistant. This is how Congress treated Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. This is the original letter that Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar wrote to Veer Savarkar, acknowledging his efforts on untouchability and social justice. This is the original letter. Please go ahead and read it. Point number three, Jawaharlal Nehru wrote a letter to the first health minister, Amrit Kaur, calling Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar akin to a traitor. He said that he conspired with the British. That is what Nehruji's ideology was with respect to Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. When the Congress party was in power, Congress party, in order to further demean Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, got a cartoon in the NCRT when Jawaharlal Nehru ji has been seen beating Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. This is how much they hated. And my simple two question is, if you respected Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, you could give it to your family members. Why did you not give Bharat Ratna to Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar? It was a non-Congress government supported by the BJP which gave. And why did you oppose the installation of Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar statue in the central hall of the parliament?
Ashutosh.
So the first thing, I have already answered that Nehru and Ambedkar were political opponents. So to expect that Nehru will facilitate everything, he made him the law minister. They gave him a Congress ticket to fight from when he the first constituency went to East Pakistan.
Right.
They are unaware of the facts. Now to again bring Nehru in the discussion is because I will just ask them a question. Amit Shah says Ambedkar करने का फैशन आ गया है.
पूरा बोलो.
हैं? That is the first line that is relevant.
तो फेक न्यूज़ फैलाना शुरू कर दिए. 10 सेकंड का वीडियो करोगे, 1.5 मिनट का वीडियो नहीं पूरा सुनाओगे.
Would Amit Shah have the guts to tell ऑल दीज मोदी सपोर्टर्स की मोदी मोदी करने के बजाय भगवान का नाम लेते तो अयोध्या में हारते नहीं, 240 सीट पे लाके जनता तुम्हें पटक नहीं देती. Why does he say that to the Modi bhakts? Because he knows. And the worst thing is that everyone who has even basic knowledge of history knows that Ambedkar had his left Hinduism to become a Buddhist. And to compare him with Hindu gods is like doubling the
let me bring Pradeep on a slightly different angle. Pradeep, somewhere has this statement of Mr. Amit Shah damaged the BJP because all that has been done to, reach out, the outreach as far as the SCs, STs, Mr. Ambedkar's own legacy, perhaps somewhere or the other has this been done because the Congress has alleged that the very fact that there's been an attempt to sort of remove certain videos of Mr. Amit Shah shows that there is some kind of strategic mistake.
No, the reality is that the Congress party was attempting to spread fake news by not playing the entire video and playing 10 seconds of it. We will take the legal recourse option available because spreading fake news is a crime. Point number one. He asked, what did we do for the Dalits? Point number one, the Congress party for 70 years did not celebrate the Constitution Day. Why? Because they hated Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar. It was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who honored his legacy. Congress party never developed the 5 punch threes which was associated with the life of Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar. Why? Because they hated Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar. Congress party opposed the abrogation of Article 370. Why? Because they hated Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar, who was against Article 370. The Congress party hates... No, read the thing.
That's a fake news.
He was against it. Read it. Again a lie. Read it.
Ambedkar wanted
I openly
Kashmir
challenge
to have
you.
publicized.
No, I openly challenge you.
Jammu and Ladakh going to India and
of the Dalits. You hated it because abrogation of Article 370 would have gone.
One by one. Yeah.
I challenge him. Article 370, removal and abrogation of Article 370 ensured that the Dalits in the valley get their rights of reservation. They opposed it because they hate the Dalits, point number 2. Point number 3, they asked, what did we do? 10 crore Ujjwala, 4 crore Awas, 13 crore water connection, 10 crore toilets, majority beneficiaries are Dalit. Now you tell us, why did you not give Bharat Ratna to Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar? You tell us, why did you have a cartoon in the NCRT where Nehru ji was defeating Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar?
Let's go point by point. Bharat Ratna to B.R. Ambedkar, was it something that the Congress could have given? Renu Mittal, please respond.
They could have given.
But why not?
They gave him he became the head of the Constituent Assembly. He got a lot of... You see, what is happening now is that we are getting carried away by our own rhetoric. Just as the BJP has been slamming Nehru from day one to day last, now suddenly it's the turn of Ambedkar. Congress is against this and against... You see, the fact is that Congress has made a lot of mistakes. And that's why they came down to 44 seats. Did they not? And the arrogance with which the Congress was ruling was also instrumental in the fall of the Congress, which ruled for so many years. So BJP has a lot of lessons to learn from that. Now Ambedkar, certainly they could have given. There were a lot of people in the Constituent Assembly who played a stellar role. But they're all out in the oblivion. They're not mentioned. Nobody talks about it. Because Ambedkar has become an icon and it's suiting political parties to go on with this narrative because it's all vote bank politics.
Is it just about vote bank politics? It's just about reaching out to certain castes for political reasons and political positioning, because at the end of the day, Ambedkar himself was a controversial character because he was, of course, associated with the Congress and then he moves out. So his political stances also changed over a period of time. His positions vis-a-vis Hindutva, vis-a-vis the Congress, all dramatically changed and altered.
He was never pro the Congress, Madhav. We must understand this. And for years, they've airbrushed history and tried to appropriate his legacy. And that is what has come out. They must read. She's talking about research. She should read a book, What Congress Have Done to the Untouchables, written by B.R. Ambedkar, where he's detailed it out, how they have let down the untouchables. So that is point number 1. Secondly, you know, when Ambedkar visited the RSS camp in May 1939, and I'm quoting what he said, I am surprised to find the Swayam Sevaks moving about in absolute equality and brotherhood without even caring to know the caste of the others. And do you know one thing, Madhav? Who was his election agent? When Ambedkar was, the election was rigged against him, and this is not some conjecture. It's his wife who's saying that he was rigged out of that. His agent was Dattopant Thengadi, an RSS person. So this is the true legacy. One was his election agent and they are being made out to be anti-Dalits, and the others were trying to rig him out of an election which eventually led to his death as per his wife. This is not conjecture. This is solid research, ma'am. Please read Savita Ambedkar's Baba Sahab, My Life with Dr. Ambedkar. Read the book, then you will get to know. There are so many skeletons inside this cupboard of this Congress party, and I'm glad it's coming out finally.
All right. Would you like to respond to that, or Akhilesh ji?
No, the point is that skeletons will come out of every government. You see, there are lots of skeletons which need to come out about the BJP also. So which there is absolute pin drop silence. House is adjourned day after day after day. Nothing, no business gets transacted. Bills are passed in a jiffy because the questions that are being asked are not being answered. Because the questions that people want to know the answers to. So you are rhetoric this thing, rhetoric against Jawaharlal Nehru, and now it's Ambedkar. Tomorrow will be something. But present doesn't bother them. Only the past.
मैं
You go on
वही
talking
बातें
about the
कहना
past.
चाहता हूँ माधव साहब। डॉक्टर अंबेडकर पे बहुत रिसर्च करके आए हैं,
बहुत
बड़ा अच्छा
research
लग रहा है।
करके
आज डॉक्टर
They've done a
अंबेडकर साहब
great
की इतना चर्चा हो रही है। डॉक्टर अंबेडकर साहब की जिंदगी के जो मेन संघर्ष थे और उपलब्धियां थी, गोल साइमन कमीशन से लेके गोलमेज कॉन्फ्रेंस तक, उन्होंने कहा था कि जो अंग्रेजों से लड़के मैंने दलितों के लिए जो पृथक निर्वाचन लिया है, ये रास्ता साफ करेगा दलितों की आजादी का, उनके प्रभुत्व का, उनकी हैसियत का। और पूना पैक्ट में वो अधिकार दलितों का छीना गया। और कांसीराम साहब ने किताब लिखी है चमचा योग। उन्होंने इस किताब में दर्शाया कि दलितों की राजनीति का पतन कैसे हुआ। हम ये मानते हैं कि आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है। एक काम कर लेते हैं ना, भारत रत्न दे दें, उनकी स्टैच्यू बना दें, उनके और जगह बना दें, उनके विचार को जमीन पर उतार देते, जो चीज छूट गई थी उसे दे देते। तो मैं ये समझना चाहता हूं कि जो पूना पैक्ट, जो पृथक निर्वाचन का अधिकार जो दलितों से छीना गया था, बीजेपी की उस पर क्या राय है यार? एक राय जानना चाहता हूं मैं। ये तो है ना, क्योंकि अंबेडकर के जीवन का जो सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धियों में थी, वो उपलब्धि थी पृथक निर्वाचन का अधिकार, जिसे कांसीराम ने पूना पैक्ट धिक्कार दिवस के नाम पे पूरे राष्ट्र में मनाते थे। तो भंडारी साहब, मैं जानना चाहता हूं तो उस पर राय क्या है?
I think second time he's asking you that question, Pradeep.
जी।
Well, सबका साथ सबका विकास, सबका साथ सबका विकास। I have also asked him thrice whether he will apologize for Azam Khan's statement on boom mafia calling Ambedkar. नहीं, आप apologize तो करो।
नहीं, मैं आपसे सवाल कर रहा हूं।
आपको जवाब
मैं आपसे उम्मीद
मैं
करता हूं
आपसे
कि आप रिप्लाई करेंगे।
नहीं तो मुझे बताइए।
बड़ी गंभीर सवाल है ये।
पूछ रहा हूं,
डॉक्टर अंबेडकर पे आपके सारे अधिकारों पे एक राय तो दे दो।
बताइए।
Baba Saheb
Ambedkar believed in the Constitution of India. It is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government which has implemented it in letter and spirit, including in Jammu and Kashmir. You wanted to snatch. अरे आप तो दलितों का ठीक है, मुसलमानों को देने की बात कर रहे थे।
वाइस चांसलर भी बना दो, आरक्षण भी दे दो भंडारी साहब।
Look at what B.R. Ambedkar had said when he had resigned. This is the letter. इनको इशू ये है कि हम B.R. Ambedkar को पढ़ते हैं कि घृणा है, क्योंकि उन्होंने इनके बारे में इतना झूठ फैलाया था, जिसको आज हम एक्सपोज कर रहे हैं। B.R. Ambedkar, when he resigned, he said the entire attention of Prime Minister Nehru is only gone into the interest of the Muslim community. He is against the scheduled caste. In fact, their interest has to be taken care of more than the Muslims. और आप दलितों को रिजर्वेशन को छीन के मुसलमानों को देने की बात करते हो, आपको जवाब देना चाहिए। बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर की
सम्मान के लिए धर्म परिवर्तन करो, सम्मान के लिए धर्म परिवर्तन करो, हिंदुत्व देश के लिए खतरा है।
डॉक्टर निशांत वाज टू काउंटर दैट।
सर, मेरा इनसे ये क्वेश्चन है, इतना ये आज बोल रहे हैं, इन्होंने दलितों के लिए क्या किया? इनकी 20 राज्यों में सरकार है, एक काम बताया इन्होंने किया हो?
बताता हूं।
इनको ये समझना चाहिए कि आज इनके इतने बड़े सीनियर लीडर should be ashamed and apologize to the people who have been hurt. Today they are saving him.
apologize करो। बाबा साहब भीमराव अम्बेडकर की फोटो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हटा दी।
मंत्री ने
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से आम आदमी पार्टी ने ट्वीट किया, बाबा साहब भीमराव अम्बेडकर की फोटो हटा दी।
Let me complete, brother.
Go ahead. Let him make his point.
My simple question is that they should apologize. मानना चाहिए कि इन्होंने गलती करी है, मानना चाहिए कि अदानी की दलाली करते हैं, मानना चाहिए कि ये जो गाय काटने वाले हैं उनके पैसे लेते हैं, इनको मानना चाहिए कि इनकी ट्रिक्स अब जनता को समझ आ रही है। They need to come in front and accept their mistakes. Aam Aadmi Party has worked for minorities in Delhi. We have given education. That is what B.R. Ambedkar said. Everybody should be educated. They have not done a single work. They are only misusing their power.
Quick response.
इनकी एजुकेशन मॉडल।
Can I just ask this one?
At least we have done something.
मैं जवाब दे देता हूं। मैं बता दूंगा।
Tell me your one state where you have done anything for education.
Quickly.
Is it the Manusmriti mindset of people like Mr. Amit Shah which is coming out when they speak? Because the way he was speaking, it showed also a certain level of arrogance with which the way, he brushed aside everything.
Okay.
So is that the mindset that
the reality is, I'll tell you the issue. They had spread lies about Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar was completely against Nehru. Now the truth is coming out and their distorted history is getting revealed. My point number one. This is today's Aam Aadmi Party tweet. Why has Arvind Kejriwal removed Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar's Pratima and picture from the Constitution of India and tweeted this from Aam Aadmi Party's official handle? He needs to answer. He wants to erase Baba Saheb Ambedkar memory. On 4th April 2014, Atishi, who is the current Chief Minister, puppet Chief Minister of Delhi, says that those who have already benefited from reservation, they should give it to the next generation. They should not be having the benefit. They are anti-reservation. They should answer that. Point number 3. Their school model. Their school model I will expose.
They need to answer what mistake
Deputy Chief Minister banayenge.
Let me come in now. Last point, last debating point, and this is very, very important, and what makes this a very important national debate is the cost of running of Parliament. A virtual washout that we've seen in this entire session. 12.5 lakh rupees a minute is the cost of running Parliament, and this is as per the 2020 government figures. Perhaps it's going to cost a whole lot more given the fact that we're in 2024. 6 hours is the number of hours per session. 9 crores is the cost per day of running Parliament. At the end of the day, Ashutosh Mishra, it is important. It doesn't matter whether you're from the BJP or the Congress or whether you're under the UPA or the NDA government. Parliament is for also making laws. That's what people hope. And perhaps closer to the elections, there are political disruptions, etc. If this is happening in the beginning of one particular Lok Sabha, what will we expect for the rest of the 4 years?
And I agree with you. Parliament comes from parley, a place to hold talks. But what we see, whether it be Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha, the opposition does not get a fair chance to put up its view. It becomes a theatre where Narendra Modi or Amit Shah will come, or even a Kiran Rijiju, make false allegations against the opposition.
But they say they're ready to debate every issue. That's what they say.
They don't want debate. As my friends here have been pointing out, has there been a debate on Adani? No. That was the whole trick, not to have a debate on Adani, which has brought us international sort of shame, where a US court is pointing fingers. Adani has run away from US. He withdrew the bond issue that he was planning to go there. He has withdrawn from seeking US loan for his Sri Lanka project. So there is obviously something dal mein kuch kala hai, which they don't want to discuss. And not just that, even otherwise, if there is a open discussion, earlier they used to tools like money bill or no debate.
I want Karan to comment on that. The ultimate
exactly what they
demand
want
of opposition
today
was to have a discussion on the issue which the government was running away from his discharge.
Every time they come up with an issue, kabhi it is Pegasus, kabhi Hindenburg, kabhi Rafale, kabhi vaccine hesitancy, they have been raising these issues, Madhav, and this is a very irresponsible opposition we are talking about. Adani ki inhone baat kari. Supreme Court appointed panel last year has said, given a clean chit to Adani, and in fact said those who use the Hindenburg to earn through short selling, Pradesh should be prosecuted. There have been 49 investigations on Adani, including the promoters by the DRI itself, Department of Revenue Intelligence.
Supreme Court was not given all the facts. SEBI was still investigating.
They don't follow the norms.
SEBI was still investigating. And they have been indicted in a US court. This is fake news.
You can respond to him. Let him make his point. Yeah.
DRI investigated Adani's brother-in-law. It was attested further by the appellate tribunal, went up to the High Court. But ये पढ़ते नहीं है ये बात. ये बोलेंगे. Congress is giving contracts to Adani in Telangana. Will you scrap them? Will our friend from
Rahul Gandhi has answered him. Rahul Gandhi has answered him. They don't listen to him. He has said if they follow the law and if there is a level playing field, we cannot just suppose Adani for the sake of that.
But their point is, if the corporate is so tainted or so bad, then why do business with them?
Rahul Gandhi has already answered that. That if you come and play according to the level playing field, if the policy is not being twisted, because today Adani offers you the best deal.
Revant Reddy withdrew from 100 crores. The Chief Minister withdrew from 100 crore offer.
So obviously that is his answer. That is his answer. But Rahul Gandhi has already answered their question. And they don't have the guts to listen to him. That is the problem.
Renu Mittal, quick response.
My point is that for the last 10 years of the BJP Narendra Modi government, there has been very little debate and discussion. The Prime Minister has not thought fit to hold a all-party meeting on key issues. Now recently the External Affairs Minister did on Bangladesh, because it was felt that there should be a consensus on that. What I'm saying is...
But Akhilesh ji...
1 minute, I'll finish. What I'm saying is that debate, discussion, dialogue has been missing from the narrative of this government. Now, this has been reflected in Parliament also. A lot of times we've seen bills being passed without any debate, without discussion, money bills also, etc., etc.
Okay.
So the point is,
but the
that
Samajwadi Party on the issue of
that
Adani is not with the Congress Party. Samajwadi Party कह रही है कि इसको हमारे पे discuss करने की जरूरत है नहीं.
Adani is one issue. What I'm saying is that there is lots
मैं
of
ये
other
मानता रहा
issues
हूं
beyond Adani.
कि संसद के थोड़े से वक्त में जो महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दे हैं, जैसे किसान का मुद्दा था, संभल का मुद्दा था, उस पे बहस हो जाती तो ज्यादा सार्थक होती. दूसरी बात, मैं ये मानता हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो फैसलों में दलित पिछड़ों के प्रति जो नजरिया था, आज अमित शाह के व्यवहार से भी वो नजरिया दिखा है, जिसे पूरे देश ने देखा.
We have debated that, but I want to respond to that because you want to raise Adani issue. Here is the SP, here is the TMC, other opposition parties which have significant numbers who say that beyond a point this is a waste.
They are being responsible at least.
So did they get the time to raise those issues?
Of course. Akhilesh ji raised some. Akhilesh ji spoke about it.
He spoke inside the house.
And he got a chance to speak about it.
Of course.
Was there a discussion on Adani? Was it? What are they doing about the farmer leader who today whose life is hanging by a thread?
Okay, let's leave it there.
What are they doing? They are doing nothing.
All right.
His life is going
Lot of issues, a lot of chaos in this entire session. We certainly hope that this kind of washout doesn't happen. Whatever issues that opposition wants to raise or the government may want to raise or not raise, whatever may be the case, the point is the people of India look up to Parliament to actually resolve a lot of legal issues, regulatory aspects that Parliament can look into. That is not happening at the moment, and certainly, of course, what can be done to end this logjam is a big question. Pradeep Bhandari, Karan Verma, Dr. Nishant Azad, Akhilesh Katiyar, Renu Mittal, Ashutosh Mishra, thanks so much for joining us on this edition of the National Debate.